Hi, I'm Dr. Keith Johnson. I want to turn your attention to a time in the Bible when Jesus has been crucified. The disciples have seen Jesus die. The Romans have made sure that they've killed him. They've sealed his tomb already. And now they're huddled in the upper room wondering where they should go and what they should do. They've lost their master, and they're not sure what their future has to hold, and they're scared to death that now the soldiers are out to kill them as well. So they don't know what to do or where to go. Now, meanwhile, while they're huddled in the upper room, ladies come knocking at the door. We've seen Jesus. He is alive. The angel has told us he is alive. And suddenly these disciples are arguing amongst themselves. What are they talking about? Asking if the ladies have had something too much to drink, if they're a little bit hallucinated or hysterical because of the events. And then everybody runs to the tomb to see if Jesus is in the tomb, which they find out he is not. But here's my question. If they've already seen Jesus die, why would they even run to the tomb? He's gone, they decided. There's no reason to even argue about it. Jesus is dead. Very few of them thought that he would be alive at all. In fact, some of them were convinced that the ladies were hallucinating. Yet they all run to the tomb to see if the body is there. Why? Why would you run to a tomb to see if the body is there? I mean, wouldn't you already know that he's dead? Wouldn't you already believe, I'm wasting my time rushing to see what's going on? Well, there's a basic human problem there that we all have. We want to be forgiven. And we want to find some kind of hope, even in death. Religions are based on hope in death, but many religions are very crazy about how you find that new hope. And the many religions that exist try to understand what they're looking for, or who they're looking for, or how they're going to find it in some way, shape, or form. All kinds of crazy ways to deal with life and death, thanks to the many religions that we have. The basic nature of man is to ask, if a man dies, shall he live? And the major basic understanding of that need is forgiveness. We're trying to recompense ourselves. We're trying to recapitulate what happened so that we can find some hope in the hopeless. You and I are miserable beings that do terrible things to each other. We create war. We swear at each other. We hate each other. We're arguing and criticizing each other about all the bad things that they've done that they're going to do to you as well. We very much feel anger. We feel hurt. We feel rejected. We treat each other terrible. And now we rush to the tomb, whether we believe it or not, hoping that somewhere, hope against hope. There's some kind of something here that we can grab to find some forgiveness, some kind of deactivating of ourselves, of hoping that maybe somewhere something is going to work and make us better. We have all kinds of tombs that we run to looking for that hope, begging for that hope, asking that somewhere we would find the hope we need. And that's what these disciples did. They ran to the tomb. Imagine Simon Peter. He's rejected Christ. He's followed Christ all the way through his crucifixion. He's watched Jesus get killed. And now he's forsaken him. He refused to even have anything to do with Jesus while he was alive. Now the ladies come and say that Jesus is alive again. And Simon Peter runs to that tomb. He wants to see what's going on. And he's scared. He doesn't know how to feel inside. He's been rejected. He's rejected Christ. He's looking for some kind of hope. He wants something to work. And the disciples are begging for some kind of answers, and they sure don't find it in the tomb. Jesus is gone. The clothes have been laid down over the gravestone, and they've been laid out and folded and put properly where they belong. And now Jesus is gone. The The tomb is unsealed. Somebody has broken the seal, which, by the way, was a consequence of death. If you break the Roman seal of the tomb, you're going to be judged to be against life. You're going to be executed. So these disciples have rushed to the tomb, and Jesus isn't there, and the body isn't there either. Now they're in the upper room again arguing. This doesn't make any sense. I don't understand where Christ is, or what Christ is doing, or what was happening now. Who stole the body? Who took Christ away from them so they can't bury him now or take care of him properly? They can't ceremonize his death thanks to whoever it is that stole his body. The ladies are screaming, "No, he's alive! He's alive! You've got to believe." The angel said he's alive. The angel said, "Why are you looking for the dead among the living? Why are you looking for the living among the dead? He's alive." Well, Thomas didn't think so. And a lot of them didn't believe. It's hard to believe that a man lives after he dies. When he dies, he's done. We don't have any ceremonies for life except in some strange religious cults where they still ceremonize the experience of the person that we're celebrating after he's dead. We remember the dead and we wait for them to come back, but they don't come back. What are we rushing to the tomb for? What are we looking for? We're looking for some kind of forgiveness, something that works, something that says, here's some hope. If he could be alive, we could find some hope. And that's what the disciples are arguing about. We have a reason to believe. Thomas didn't. Thomas said, wait a minute. I'm not going to believe. I refuse to believe that Christ is alive. And unless I touch his scars, unless I see the place where they nailed him, unless I put my hand in his side where they stuck the spear, I'm not going to believe that Jesus is alive. It's just that simple. Done. He's dead. Finished. There's no hope. And Simon's heart is going up and down and trying to figure out, what life is this? What's going on here? It's that voice that speaks to Thomas, that speaks to the disciples, that speaks to all of us. Thomas, come here. Put your hands in my nail prints. Put your hand in my side where the scar is, where they put the spear. Thomas goes over. He can't believe what he sees, but there's Jesus standing in front of him in flesh and blood, and he touches the scars. And then he falls on his knees and says, "My Lord and my God," which is another to say, "I can't believe you're alive." And that's what all the disciples and all the women are saying and thinking. Nobody knows what to say because all of their mouths are hanging open. They can't believe that Jesus is there. And Jesus says, "Thomas, you believe because you've seen me. Blessed are they who have not seen and yet believe." Jesus is alive. The disciples are forgiven. The power of God rising from the dead, conquering the devil, overcoming the evil of this world, overcoming crime and violence and divorce, overcoming all the problems we leave our kids, and giving us a glorious understanding that Christ has risen from the dead and is alive and mighty as Lord and King of the universe. And no matter who we vote for as president, no matter what we do in politics, no matter where we go to hurt people, no matter what we do in crime, no matter how bad we make this world we've been given, Jesus is alive, Lord. He's going to make sure that everything turns out right, There will be justice in the universe, and he will come again soon. I guess the real question is this. You haven't seen Jesus, have you? You haven't been to the tomb. You haven't put your hands in his scars as Thomas did. You haven't seen him. Blessed especially are you who believe. Believe in what? That there is life after death. That Jesus is the overcomer of all the problems we experience, and that there's only one answer to our salvation: coming in contact with Christ. Jesus said, and he meant it, I am the resurrection and the life. He that believeth in me, though he were dead, yet shall he live. And whosoever liveth and believeth in me shall never die. And then he asked the question, believest thou this? Do you believe? Then you are greatly blessed.